Hey, we're gonna start over. Yeah, we gotta start over. They hated on me. I thought I hit start the broadcast and then it didn't. So y'all get this first part over again. Thought I had already hit it, but yeah. I'm just gonna have to get caught back up, Facebook and all those other good people that is listening. I just used the other feed. But listen. Come on. The reason why I asked was some good and well because I roast ashy people. And so whether you got lotion, cocoa butter, Vaseline, doesn't matter. You gotta be right. And see, I was at my second to last corporate job. I was in the bathroom, and one of the things I do not like talking to people. I don't like people talking to me while I'm in the bathroom. And I'm at the bathroom. I'm at the sink washing my hands as I get done. And this white guy comes up to me. He's like, "Hey man, using that soap it's gonna make you ashy." What? Like, first of all, you telling me this from personal experience? Because I don't know if you could really be telling me that. I'm not trying to be that, and I'm not saying that Caucasian people don't be ashy. But hey man, you can't be that this is gonna make me ashy. Come on, like no man, I can't have that from you because I feel some kind of way. Like I definitely feel some kind of way because you coming up to me. First of all, you're not supposed to be talking to me in the bathroom. I don't like that at all. But secondly, I do not. And when I say I do not want you to feel comfortable enough to come up and talk about something making me ashy, fam, mind your business. That's what you can do first, is mind your business. You coming up to me talking about something, it's going to make you ashy. That probably could have came from anybody else. What up, Tank? How you living, man? Congratulations on all the awards, man. You've been getting, man. You deserve it, brother. I appreciate everything that you got going, man. It's big stuff you got going on, man. Shout out to that. You are out here, sir. You out here crushing. Listen, if y'all hadn't seen the episode where he was on in, I want to say season 1. So he back way back. Shout out to Drew Tank. He out here in these streets making these movies. So if you see something that's done by him, check it out. Support, man. We appreciate that. Also, since last week, I went to my first Bears game. It was here in Atlanta. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. And before I shouldn't do this, but before I go any further, I want to thank Johnny Jackson for selling us his tickets. his season tickets at face value. That was dope. He had some other people that wanted to go, but he sold them. He sold us his tickets at face value, and so we appreciate that. That's what's up. But man, Chicago was deep up in there. Chicago was deep up in there. When I tell you, we was there, we was in there. We was all up in there representing. We didn't win. We did not win. But I had a good time. Me and my brother, man, it's always a good time when I get a chance to hang with my little brother and whatnot. And like I said, we had thought we was gonna have some issues with getting in the game, but everything worked out. Sat next to some cool people. There's a whole bunch of Bears fans around us, so it's almost like we was at home. What up, Black Queens? Yeah, we had a good time. Man, I'm glad I ain't got a bowl this week, so I don't have to roast none of the funny looking Falcon fans that I bowl with, because I know that they're gonna be talking big trash as if they just won the Super Bowl. And so shout out to them for that. But speaking of the bowling alley, my brother and I, we were on the way back from the game, and we were talking about people giving back correct change. We was talking about people giving back correct change and how doing that quick math is a struggle for a whole lot of people. It's a super struggle for a lot of people. And so I went to go get some practice in today. I bowled 4 games. My total came out to 864. And I'm not saying this to make anybody look bad, but my total came out to 864. I paid with a $10 bill. Can anybody tell me how much change I was supposed to get back real quick? Can anybody tell me that? Uh-oh. Yeah, anybody tell me that real quick. Hold on, because I know y'all know. Listen, I got back $2.36 is what she gave me back. I shouldn't have said she, but that's what they gave me back. And I was like, hey, I'm sorry, that's the wrong change. And I'm holding $1. I'm trying to get $1 back, and they're looking at the change that's in my hand, and I'm like, no, the coins are right. It's the dollar part. Bro, take this back. And she was looking at me like, hold on. And she went back to the computer and started typing it in. And I'm like, you can't just see that? What up, Yatney? You can't just see that I gave 864, I gave you a 10. I'm only supposed to get $1 and some change back. And when she counted it back, she was like, all right, 36, 64, $9, 10. Oh. This makes me angry. And I know people that would have kept that extra $1. And so I want to ask you, they would have kept that extra $1 and been like, look at God. Won't he do it? Won't he will? I know. My mom is one of those people. She would have kept that money. She would say, you better learn how to count. I'm going to learn you today. And so is there an amount of money that you would keep? Oh, no, what's happening? Is there an amount of money, amount of change that you could get back that you would just stick down in your pocket and be like, if they came up short today? I don't know. You know what? If I didn't look and she gave me that money back and I just stuck it down in my pocket, Like if I had to pay with a I would have gave I would have I feel like my karma would be bad if I kept even that dollar, if I kept $5, if I kept $20. Like I've been to Sonic. I went to Sonic one day and my I think my order came out to be like $5 and some change. I paid with a 20. They gave me the 20 plus the $15 back. And I was just like, yo, this is way too much money, fam. Your little change bill is about to be trash. Let me get this back to you. And part of the reason I do that is I used to work for a bank. And while I was while I was working through the drive-through, I've accidentally gave back the wrong money too much, and somebody returned it back to me. Yo, so it's only right. It's only right for me. But let me tell you what, cashiers that keep change. Wait, the only money I used to keep was my ex when I did laundry like 10 years ago, and the debit cards weren't a big thing, but never again. Okay, so are we talking about a situation in which they give you money to go buy something, you don't spend the whole money, you don't spend all it, so you just pocket the rest? I've heard of people doing that. I feel like there should be a limit. I feel like there should be a limit. Maybe. I don't know. See, it's all. Oh, you found cash. Okay. I thought he gave you. See, shame, his pockets. Was there a limit? Was there a limit that you'd be like, hey, babe, I found $60 in your pocket. You get $60 back out the laundry. Hey, appreciate you, Monet. About that bag. Whoa, let's go. Where my thing at? Let me get my air horn, pump that air horn off. Yeah, I appreciate that so much. No, you keep the 60. Wow. See, you know what? I'm gonna just go ahead. Edith probably one of those cashiers that I would never again. All right, cool. What up, Sierra? Dave, Sierra in the house. All right. And so one of those, what I was thinking about was those cashiers that take the liberty to keep the change. And let's just say at a restaurant, you go and you eat, and your bill comes out to $44.55. The cashier the waitress only brings back, or the waiter only brings back $7. You gave them 50, and they brought back $7. So they kept your 45 cents. Me? I'm mad immediately. The lady at there was a coffee shop at an airport, and my money came out to be, I think it was like $3.89. I paid with a $5. She gave me $1 back, and I was like, you still owe me 11. She looked at me like I was wrong. And I'm like, you owe me 11 cents. And she was like, but it's just 11 cents. Like, you're going to make me open up the drawer for 11 cents? Yes, I sure will. Because it's my 11 cents. Like, why do you feel like you can just keep my 11 cents in the drawer? You shouldn't have closed it with my 11 cents in the drawer. And I think about it at the airport. If she been like in her shift, you know how many people come in and out of the airport. And so if you keep it 25 cents here, 30 cents there. You just not giving people their money back. Come on, man. You about to come up. I don't care how good your service is. You need to give me all my money back. It could be 3 cents. I'm like, hey, fam, it was $4.97. I gave you. Are you just gonna pocket my 3 cents, brother? How much change can a cashier keep before you say something? How much? So if your bill came out to be, let's just say $18.91, and they brought you back just $1. Would you say something about that 9 cents? Would you say something? Because gosh, it ain't the money, it's the principle. And I think a lot of, I almost feel like it's an old school principle. Like, listen, this is all my money. Like, you can't just take a liberty and feel like you could just have, or like the company don't even like you like that for you to just be giving them extra 11 cents or 3 cents or whatever. So why do you feel like you can just put that in there like that? Come on, man. Unless you plan on, I'm going to just take $5 out the register because I done shorted at least 40 people 10 cents. So that's about right. Well, at least 10 cents. That's about right. These new kids that had a nerve to get an attitude is you ask them a question about, oh, you going to give me some extra change? I done already put it in. In the so this is the one thing. This is the one thing I don't like, and I think I'd have mentioned this before, where you go to a drive-through, you order your food, they repeat the order back to you, and then tell you to pull up without giving you how much it should be. And so now, when they tell you how much it should be, and you have an idea because you know what you ordered. So if you pull up to the window, you got your 20 ready, and they like, oh, it's $10.41. You got the 20 out, they put the 20 up, and you're like, oh shoot, I got 41 cents. Let me get this to you. You give them the 41 cents, and now they out there, they done lost their mind. They don't know what to do. I can't take the 41 cents because I already put in 20. So just give me a 10 back. What you doing? Why is this a big thing? But the new kids that have an attitude. And now I start asking myself, like, we were talking about new kids. We were talking about new kids and what was so different. Why are these new kids so different from when we were kids? And I don't know how old everybody is in the chat, but I'm going to assume that most of the people in the chat was born in the 80s. I might have a 78 or a 79 in there. Dad pop in, some 50, it'll be a 50 in there. See, I just talked them up. There's a 50 in there. But these new kids, the new kids are different. And I was trying to figure out like why. Shout out to 80. These new kids are so different. And I was trying to figure out, and I asked my wife, I was like, why are they so different? Like, why is the mindset so different? Because one of the things that I try to think back. So was my upbringing that much different from my parents? Was it that much different? was my mindset about, or my outlook on the world when I was 10 and 11 and 12 that much different from what my parents thought that their outlook on the world was at that age? Like when I was that age, they weren't too far from it. You know, you can still, like, if you got kids, you have an idea about what it was, kind of the things that you were thinking about, and some of the things that you did at that age, and some of the stuff that you tried to get away. Like you're removed from it, but at the same time, you would like to think like, I know I didn't do that. Like I wasn't that. I did some things, but I didn't do that. I did. Like the respect level is different. Like there was never a time in which I would tell an adult, you got to respect me before I respect you. Chris Tucker was like, what kind of shit is that? You got to respect me before I respect you. Like these new kids have their level is so different from what our level of fear was when it came to adults. If there was a situation in which I was out in public and I was talking about something that I knew that I had no business talking about, if an adult walked past, and it did not matter who it was, if they were older than me or somebody that would be considered an adult, that conversation stopped because there was a possibility that they could go tell my parents. And my parents, they weren't one of those parents that would be like, they wouldn't defend me. They would be like, why? They would ask why that adult would be why would that adult lie on you? And so it's so weird because now I can walk past a bunch of 12-year-olds and listen. When I was living in the apartment over in Sandy Springs, there were some kids. I know that there were kids. They couldn't have been no older than. I know that they weren't teenagers. And dude was talking about getting head, but he was like, "Yeah, she sucked my dick." I was like, "Oh." And there was a part of me that wanted to go tell that young man, like, listen, this is not how you're supposed to be talking. This is not how you should be talking out loud. You not even old enough to be out here getting head. What you doing? And there was the other part of me that was like, I could say something to this boy, but I might have to fight his parents because if I say something, they might get mad at me for saying something to their kid about how he talking because they might think that it's cool. And see, Edith, you said when social media has made certain generations become desensitized and just no respect. And listen, I was on Twitter. I was on Twitter yesterday, and I saw a video that had me disturbed in a different kind of way. And there was this young lady twerking on a little boy. The little boy was her son. And when I say twerking on, like she was back that thing up on that little boy. On the boy. Yeah. There were people in her on the thread threatening to call CPS and defects on her. And she posting this. Yo, I'm like, why do you think it's okay? Why is that okay? Like the parenting, I feel is different. And one of the things so with the parenting, I don't think I cuss to my parents now, not at them, but to them when I tell stories or when I'm having a dialogue about the kids and stuff like that. And it's not out of disrespect or anything like that. Like if my dad was like, "Hey man, I don't like all that cussing that you be doing," I wouldn't cuss to him. I wouldn't cuss to my mom. Some of that stuff just comes out. It's never at a level of disrespect. And I know that there was a long time. Like I was probably into my late 30s before I really started cussing in front of them, but never at them, but to them. It was always in story form, never like, yo, F you, mom, or anything like that. It was hard for me to even say that part. So, like, the parenting is so different now where you got parents that's holding the phone up while their kid is cussing and laughing at it. I don't think that there would have been anything funny about us cussing when we were kids outside of us getting punched in the face after we got the shit out. Good night. Good night. He needs some milk. Like we was gonna be knocked out. We was gonna be knocked out. It's interesting to me because all right, on one hand, there are things that happen to kids in my generation where I get it. Where they'll be like, yo, I would never do that to my son. I would never do that to my daughter. I would never say that to my kid. I get it. I get it. And then at the same time, I also feel like there are values and stuff that needs to be passed down from generation to generation. There's information about how to be a gentleman or how to be a young woman that needs to be passed down from generation to generation. And it's one of those things like Pop's like there are parents out here getting high with their kids. And it happens. It happens a lot. There's parents out here like, hey, I'd rather you get high smoking them. So we all smoking. They're thinking that, the cussing and stuff is cool. And think about the influences that these kids have now versus who we had and what we were exposed to. Like my parents didn't like for us to watch videos back in the day. Like a Jodeci video came on and they was like, that's too much. Rex and effects, boom, boom. And whatever zoom was, and whatever boom was, hey, they don't want us to do that or see that. And I get it. I get it now. I get it 100%. My cousin got in trouble for singing the first part of Notice he comes on, it's like, how the first part of Feeling go? Shoot, shoot, shoot. However, if I wasn't trying to think about it right now, all I know is at the beginning of the song, it says something about having them so horny. And I'm gonna see if I can find it on YouTube right quick so that I can't play too much of it because Facebook could cut my joint off. As soon as I hit the first part of it, it'll jog my memory. He'd be like, is it Fina? Is it Fina? That might not be it. Hold on. Take my money. Awesome. Whichever song. Oh, it's Freaking. Freaking You was the song. It wasn't Fiending. Freaking You was the song. And Freaking You got my cousin in trouble. It was bad. It was bad. What a freak you. Yeah, like. I don't have to play them while I remember now. Dude said, every time I close my eyes, I wake up feeling. That got her in trouble. It was like horny. Who horny? We didn't know what horny was when we was kids. Every time I close my eyes, I wake up feeling so horny. Nope. And see, he was saying the value system has deteriorated. For a couple kisses on TV, then we had to change the channel. But now, it's all couples kissing on TV. Girls kissing girls on TV, dudes kissing dudes on TV, girls kissing girls on TV. I mean, girls kissing dudes on TV. Like, it's all of it's on TV. Yeah, that's a shoe getting thrown. That's a shoe getting thrown if I hear a kid, if I hear that. Yeah, like, it's so different. And, we are definitely in the information age. And so I spoke last week and I was talking about how the information that we didn't have the internet coming up in the 80s, not in the form that it's in now. Like when I was in the third grade, there was one computer in our class, and what anybody played on that computer was the Oregon Trail. Now in the third grade, you're getting laptops that you can take home, that you have access to the internet in 90%. And so whether you're trying to look up, whatever, you can type in something, anything. You can type in BBC and anything could come up. The news in Europe or Big Black could pop up. You never know. But all of the stuff that these kids are exposed to, is scary. And I find myself as a parent, as a co-parent, I find myself consistently trying to monitor what it is that he's watching and what it is that he's taking in and how it is that he kind of views outside influences and things that people say and things that people throw at him, and what that looks like when, as an adult, that hears it. Yeah. Oh, somebody said my shoes are old. How they old and you just got them? They new to you. It's perspective. And so I find myself consistently trying to shape their perspective because I have an idea about what that looks like moving forward and what it is that you want to put your value in. And I don't think that the values that we have and that it was instilled in us, I think a lot of that kind of gets pushed to the side because it's looked at as old school and not necessarily right. And I'm like, listen, just because it's old school, it does not necessarily mean that it's wrong. Now, there's some stuff that, yeah, if you're getting thrashed with Hot Wheel tracks and extension cords, yeah, that's some old school discipline right there. You getting the paddle with the holes in it, that's some old school discipline right there. And yeah, you think about what the physical discipline does and what it could mean to the person that's receiving it and how they take it. Like I've been asked, hey, Mr. Jason, how come you don't whoop us? How you don't beat me? And let me tell you something. I sat there and I had to think about that. I had to think of a really good answer. A really good answer. For why? For why I didn't whoop your ass outside of the state doesn't allow that shit. And the best answer I could come up with was, what do you learn? What do you learn outside of you being able to take a little pain? Like you probably deserve some for sure, which is why you asking. What do you learn? If I give you a whooping, you do something, I give you a whooping, then you're only in trouble for 25 seconds while you're getting that thrashing, and then you good. You think all is right with the world. And it's not. Because when I was whooping you, I could explain to you why this is wrong. And I would hope that you would actually listen to it. And so now I have to whoop you verbally. I could sit here and talk to you all day. And at some point, I feel like you would probably rather get a whooping to me talk over and over and over again. You should. You got to get these words. You got to get this information. I feel like it would build a resentment between parent and child if it is done all the time and harsh. I can see that. That's it. Listen, my brother now, we got our share. I still feel like he should have got some more because when I stopped, he stopped getting. We both stopped getting whoopings at the same time, and he still had 5 more years of whoopings that he should have got. Like I feel like he got off easy. Yes, I look. My dad was a talker. My mom was the whooper. My mom, she was rough with it. We would rather get in trouble with dad because he was talking. He would talk to us. We would get it. We would get it. But we ain't do a whole lot of stuff. But yeah, listen. I make sure that this boy got to hear my mouth. But one thing I know when I get done talking, that if he listened at all, that there was some understanding. There had to be some kind of understanding. There had to have been some understanding. And you just hope that some of that shit sticks because a whooping is only a whooping. It's only a whooping. It is not the same kind of whooping that if a kid put his hand on the stove. Kid put his hand on the stove, it takes one time. Whoopings don't do that. Whoopings don't do that. You whoop a kid for lying, they're going to lie again. They put their hand on the stove. That's a one-shot situation. They would not do that shit again. And we ask ourselves why. Because that pain was real. They can't reason with that pain. They can't justify in their mind doing that again. That shit was not fun. The end game to that was not good. But a whooping, I feel like I can around that. I can get around that. That pain was temporary. I can do that. I can take that again. I will risk. I risk. If your whooping was putting your hand on that, lives would stop. But you can't do that. That'll get you defects. That'll get defects called on you. Look, you know what? Kids so different now. I'm transitioning a little bit. They even snitch different. With the technology, I might have told y'all this story that the girl that we had before was taking pictures of the boy. Like, she would tell him to pull his mask down or wait till he eating. And he was supposed to have a mask on. She'd take a picture of him with somebody else's phone, send it to my wife. Snitching. Snitching is different. That's a damn shame. I don't think I would ever. You know what? I might have recorded my brother. If I had the ability to record my brother while he was faking when we was little, I might have did that. I might have done that to protect myself. But my buddy, I'm going to tell this little college story. This is one of the ones that we laugh at all the time. My buddy snitched on us in a different kind of way. And so when we were in college one day, I called myself being responsible. We had just left the party. And we just left the party. I had been drinking. So I was like, I told one of my other friends to drive my truck. I had a 95 Pathfinder at the time, and my buddy that snitched on me, he had a 90. It was a late 90s Jeep Cherokee. And so I was like, yo, I'm a little too toe down to drive. So, man, you go ahead and drive. So we leave the party. We're on campus, and we pull up to this stop sign, and it's a straightaway. I'm sitting back in my seat, and my buddy looks over at me, and we look over at them, and he said, I'm going to race him. All right, man, we'll go ahead and smoke this fool. And they both were looking at, they hit the gas. The Pathfinder wins. Next thing you know, we got lights behind us. I do not know how. We were in front, and my buddy allowed the police to pull both vehicles over. He comes over up to our vehicle. I'm sitting there, and he's like, you guys are really hammering it down through here, huh? Were you guys racing? My guy was like, no, we wasn't racing. He's like, whose truck is this? It's like, it's mine. I had been drinking a little bit, so I let him drive. All right, well, let me get your license and registration. Gave him the license, gave him the registrations. He goes back to the truck. He goes back to my other guy's truck, and he's back there for a while. He brings the license back, and he's like, that fella back there said, you guys won. What? Yeah. He said you won. So you guys were racing. Come on, man. What? Well, we ain't gonna lie to you no more, man. Yeah, we was racing, man. We smoked his ass too. All right, well, we're gonna have to write you up a ticket. We wrote us a ticket, wrote them a ticket. We all lived together. when we got back to the apartment, we was like, bro, how you gonna say that we won? Like, I mean, yeah, we did win, but come on, man. Come on, man. Dude, smooth. He straight snitched on us. Come on, y'all, they won. Shame on him. Listen, quick racing story, but listen, Thanksgiving is this week. I feel like it snuck up on us real quick, and it is ridiculous. And I have no idea how it got up on us so fast. But Thanksgiving is this week. Thanksgiving, whether you celebrating Thanksgiving, Friendsgiving, here are some etiquette that you need to know so that you can get invited back next year. And if you don't want to get invited back, do these things. But one, invited. Do not bring extra people. Like, you got invited. Don't bring your friend and your cousin and your sister and your uncles and all these people. Don't even listen. If you get invited to a Friendsgiving and you don't see if it's gonna be other kids there, don't bring all your kids. If you got 4 kids, bring one. You might get invited back. If you bring all of them, they're gonna talk about you behind your back. It's gonna be a group chat that you're not gonna be invited. They're gonna talk about you. Don't bring all your kids. 2, you are not allowed to get seconds or take anything home if you didn't finish at least 76% of your first plate. If you didn't finish at least 76% of your first plate, you are not allowed to take anything home. I need you to understand that. That might start a fight. Number 3, if you got kids, your kid is allowed 1 drink. 1 drink. If your kid out here with 3 or 4 open, half full cans of Coke, might get knocked out. Just go ahead and put that out there. 4, it is inappropriate to do at somebody's house just to make some room for dessert. Don't do it. Poopery does not cover all the smell. Somebody come in behind you, they might make you leave. 5, if you show up to somebody's house with some aluminum foil, Tupperware, or styrofoam to take home to go containers, probably gonna get judged, fam. Just put that on out there. You will get judged. Listen, 6, aunties, do all your TikTok dances before dinner. If you get too full and you start trying to do all them TikTok dances where they have you twerking and dropping it down, and you pop a button and you put one of your nephew's eyes out, or you getting that bill. You gonna get that bill. Believe me. I'm only going smokers. We all know why you're going outside. We all know why you keep going to the store. You ain't fooling nobody. You always bring it back in with you, and we all get high. Just letting you know. Just letting you know. And this is the most important. This is the most important by far. Hands down. Listen, if you don't do nothing else, if you don't follow none of these other etiquettes, if you don't know how to play spades, don't sit at the table. You got 3 days, 2 days to download it on your phone and try to learn. But if you ain't confident, if you don't think you're going to know, don't sit down. Listen, Your family will slide if you're a bad player. Now, if you're not that good, they'll let you slide. But if you're a renegger, that's gonna start a fight. You'll be better off. You'll be better off being the sticker. You renege, you're gonna start a fight. Thanksgiving's over. It's over. Don't do it. Don't do it. Reneging will get you kicked out of the family. Just go ahead and let you know that right now. Like, people have whole attitudes behind show me your book. It's that one. It's that one. Look, what you cut. Either don't even sit down. Don't even sit down. I don't know how you've been practicing. Don't even sit down. And before I get out of here, listen. I've been hitting y'all with some career stories. Listen, check this out. People in Korea will say and do anything. So if you ever go, just be ready. I was probably about weeks in. I had met this girl from Mississippi, and I had met this other chick from South Africa. We were all getting ready to go to the mall, and we jumped in a taxi. And the girl from Mississippi, she was a little on the heavyset side. The girl from South Africa was a little bit on the heavyset side. We got in the taxi. So I get in. I'm the small one, so I was sitting in the middle. I'm sitting in the middle. They sitting on the outside. The taxi driver gets out and walks around the car. Taxi driver gets out. After we are all three of us in the back seat, the taxi driver gets around the car. Now we're trying to figure out what the hell is he doing. He gets back in the car, and now we all like, hey, what you doing? This fool says, like he was scared that his tire was going to get flat. I beat your ass. Hey, it was bad. It was bad. I felt bad for them because I was the little one. I felt bad for them. 2, I went surfing in Busan. I went on a surfing expedition in Busan. What's up, elbow knee? I went on this surfing expedition in Busan, and the waves wasn't that big. I'm out there with my little wetsuit on, looking like Hancock after he got the real uniform. And I'm trying to surf, but my surfboard, I do got one cool picture when I'm like, I was like this. I got one cool picture where he caught me while I was on top of the water on my surfboard. But I think when he caught me, I was down in the my surfboard was down in the sand, but it was still a cool picture. It was a Korean lady out there, and I was trying to figure out, I was like, yo, I can't keep my surfboard above the water. This lady didn't know any English, but fat. Bitch, I'll drown you. You gonna say fat? That's all you know? That's what you know. Fat. I'll drown your weak ass right now. Don't do that. Don't do that. I told you I went out and I kicked it with my co-teachers, and we were at the karaoke spot, and I'm talking about they got the vodka, right? And so we throwing them back. They toe down. They having a good time. I'm not toe down. These fools gonna hit me with a compliment like, Teacher Jason, you're the best drinker. Hey, what the hell? What the hell that's supposed to mean? The best drinker. I need to investigate what that means. You gonna tell me I'm the best drinker? Like that's a real compliment. Come on, man. First of all, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Like I don't know how to take that. I feel like you calling me an alkie on the low. But if it is, no, that's not a compliment. You calling me an alkie. High key. You calling me an alkie. I don't like none of y'all. And then last, like Korean people, they'll do anything. My second day in Korea, you know, Canadian people are really friendly. Like I just happened to be looking out my window and saw some people that was white, and I was like, hey, they probably speak English. So I went outside because I didn't have a phone, I didn't have the internet or nothing. I was like, hey, y'all look like y'all speak English. What's up? And it was like, hey, do you want to go to a Nori Fest? I was like, I don't know what a Nori Fest is, but if I'm gonna hang with some other people that I can talk to, why not? We go out to this Nori Fest. This is just a music festival. That's what Nori in Korea means, music. Nori Bang is like, that's what they call the karaoke bar, is a Nori Bang. All right, so we go out to this Nori Fest, and I'm just hanging out. I'm talking to these Canadian people, like, "Yeah, man, I'm from Chicago, moved here from Arkansas, whatever, da da da." Next thing you know, I see this dude with a camera. Fam just taking pictures. He taking pictures of your boy, and I'm sitting there like, "Hey, y'all see this? Buddy just took a picture of me." Dude's still like, yo, hey, what am I supposed to do? Like, do they just randomly take pictures of y'all? They was like, I don't know. They don't normally take pictures of me. And I'm like, yeah, but why is he taking a picture of me? So I posed. Yeah, what I know? Hey. Korean people. Oh, now I'm not saying all, but over there, they will take a picture of you without asking. Like I know I have sniped my share of people here in the States. I've sniped more than my share of people. But to be in another country and to have somebody snipe you, but they not even sniping, they doing it out in the open. Like, dude got a whole camera with the lens. Bzz, bzz, bzz. I'm trying to figure out, like, who does he think I am? You sitting up here just taking pictures of your boy? I always wondered what these people did with this picture and what they said to the people who they showed the picture to, like, hey, look, I saw one. He wasn't even angry like the ones we see on TV. Like, this is crazy. And lastly, didn't say anything. When I got over there, Obama had just got elected. So I got there in September of 2008. He got elected November of 2008. I'm at the bowling alley. I found a bowling alley. And the only way you find bowling alleys in Korea is they have a bowling pin on top of a building. That's how you know what a bowling alley is. There's a pin on top of the bowling alley. I'm in there and I'm bowling. I'm minding my own business. I done found a ball on the rack. I'm just bowling. I throw a strike, and it's a dude standing behind me like, "Good job, Obama." Just say, "Good job, Obama." Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I am not Obama. I'm not Obama. I am not Shaquille O'Neal. My students call me Shaquille O'Neal. My students used to say I look like this dude in the book named Peter. Peter, I was bald at the time. Peter was this like this. But Peter was this little boy and looked like that. That's Peter. And my students used to call me this kid. Peter looked like a slave. I wanted to whoop them kids' ass. Listen. I want to thank you. I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. Before I get out of here, I told you I had an announcement. We are about to do a rebranding of this show. This content will remain dope, but it's a little backwards. But the 710 of Slickville show moving forward will be now known as the Strategically Reckless Podcast. All right. So when you see it, it's still me. It's still me, Mr. 710. We still gonna be out here in these streets, but it's time to switch it up a little bit. So the Strategically Reckless Podcast is what's gonna be thrashing these streets moving forward. So if you see it, shout it out. We greatly appreciate it. This is what the logo is going to be. Strategically Reckless. We out here in these streets. 710 of Slickville. Listen, that's always going to be in the heart. But at the same time, Strategically Reckless is what it's going to be. And listen, I appreciate everybody that's been rocking with the 710 of Slickville brand. But when you look up and you see the Strategically Reckless, that is me. That is I. Support. We appreciate y'all. You can order this shirt right now. Even the hoodie. I got the hoodie. I just put the hoodies up. I got some red ones. I got some black ones. But the Strategically Reckless hoodie is on the website right now on the 710 print shop. It's still going to stay the same. The same. But listen, good people, until next time, y'all be safe out in these streets. I appreciate y'all. Thank you again. And all right. Strategically Reckless Podcast. Let's go.